No.
And welcome to the Under the Bus podcast. I'm your host, Merge. I'm here with Clayton. What's up, Clayton?
Hi.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about a lot of trade deadline stuff. And oh, crap. Whoops. Okay, so we're going to talk a lot of trade stuff. We're going to talk the Blake Griffin trade, and we'll talk about a lot of the entries that are coming up lately to the bigger named players. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to start with a little bit of a Lakers sort of roundup real fast. We play the Magic tomorrow in Orlando. So Lonzo is not going to play that game tomorrow, but from what we've heard, he has not had any setbacks. We heard when did that report come out that it was a 1 to 3 week injury and starting from the Dallas week?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, I think that's from Trudeau.
It might have been yesterday, but no, I think it was at least 2 days ago.
Yeah, I believe it was from Trudeau. He said that it was an MCL sprain and it lacks, or it kind of limits his lateral movement. But the 1 to 3 weeks started the day he heard it on the Dallas game. So he should be back by the end of the week, which I always say this when we play the Thunder. We play the Thunder this Sunday, I believe.
Sure.
I have it's Sunday. At 11 a.m. we play him at Sunday. So I really want him back for that game. I've been saying this anytime we play the Thunder. I really want him back. I really want to beat the Thunder. So I'm expecting him back by at the very least next Tuesday against the Suns. But you have any thoughts about the whole Lonzo stuff real fast?
Nothing like too dramatic, just it sounds just like a minor sprain. I wish they would have said something before instead of like trying to hide it almost.
Yeah, it was weird.
But not that big of a deal. Was that the second time he's had a knee thing, or am I thinking back to someone else?
I think this is the second time he's had a leg thing. The first time he had an injury was in summer league, and he had an ankle injury.
Okay.
And then I think he also had an ankle issue in preseason as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the shoulder.
It's not anything really to worry about. Just it is nice to finally have like a diagnosis on it. He's out with a knee injury. Okay.
That could be a lot of things.
Yeah, like he could have tore something, which I mean technically a sprain is a minor tear or whatever they say, but right. At least it's not anything like a torn ACL or anything. That would be obviously very bad.
That'd be tragic. Yeah, we need Lonzo back. I'm just tired of seeing any Tyler Ennis minutes. No matter what anyone says.
Hey, he's underrated, dude.
He's a serviceable point guard, starting emergency starter.
If he really believes that, and if anyone is watching, they should probably know who that is. If anyone is actually watching games and believing that, you have no idea how to watch basketball.
Yeah.
If you think he's a serviceable backup, like no.
Nah, he's miles behind Alex Caruso, who is a serviceable backup.
Which is just hilarious that. And like the front office went into the year like, hey, Tyler Ennis, that's a legitimate backup, I think. He's on his what, 4th, 5th team in 3 years?
Yeah, and I mean
maybe, those 15 games, those 15 games really mean a lot, guys.
They weren't planning.
I was told that a lot. Good, so. Yeah, I understand that, but like
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like they came into the season expecting Ennis to be the backup point guard.
Yeah. It's just pathetic.
Yeah. We need Lonzo back. He's a big part. We've even sort of fallen apart a little bit past couple of games, but hopefully we don't drop to the Magic or the Nets, where I think are very winnable games the next couple of games. Next, Nigel Hayes was not signed to a second 2-day contract, which is kind of disappointing. But I mean, they've seen him in practice. There's probably something they didn't see in practice, and he barely played. But he didn't really show that much when he did play. But I mean, it's unfortunate. But I mean, I think they're probably just trying to move on and try to find someone else in the G League.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Kawakama just said. Kawakama said that our boy McCaw.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Oh man,
I saw it. You work on that real fast. Oh no, before do you have any thoughts on Hayes not being re-signed?
It was disappointing not seeing him play more, but you know, if they were seeing him enough in practice and everything, and he just wasn't translating, then it was a good move at the time. It was a 10-day contract, no risk to it. So
yeah,
it sucks. It sucks that like his shot didn't translate and everything like that. But he was always going to be the odd man out anyways, because he's a 4.
Yeah, you know? and we have 3 4s who are better than him. So
yeah, exactly. So that was just a difficult situation for him to try and get any ground. But good. I've talked crap about the front office before, but that was a good move. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with also letting him go. It's not that big of a deal.
There's probably someone we can find in the G League. I still have some hope for VJ Beacham.
Yeah.
Hopefully
he looks like a year or 2 away still.
Hopefully we can keep him. But okay, and then so we play the Magic next, then we play the Nets, Thunder, Lakers, or Suns and Thunder again. I believe I saw someone say our next 13 games, 8 of them are on the road, but only 4 of them are against playoff teams, and one of the playoff teams is the Pelicans. So I think we have a decent shot to go above 500 in this next 13, 14 game stretch. I mean, we don't play, like I said, we don't play a ton of tough teams. We play some really like not great teams. I mean, the Magic, the Nets, the Suns, the Mavericks again, the Kings and Hawks. I mean, those should all be very winnable for the Lakers. So hopefully they don't, keep their guard down against these teams and just capitalize that they've been doing over the past 10 games. Okay, so going into the big news of the past 36 hours, huge Woj bomb coming yesterday afternoon. The Los Angeles Clippers have traded Blake Griffin along with Bryce Johnson and Willie Reed to the Detroit Pistons for Avery Bradley, Tobias Harris, Boban Marjanovic, a 2018 first, which is top 4 protected, and a 2019 second. So initial thoughts, Clayton, what were your thoughts on the Detroit side getting Blake Griffin?
It was obviously a big surprise. Everyone is, ever since the trade, people are acting like Blake is a 5 to 10 player, which is really weird. Not to say that Blake isn't good, but like I think high end he was probably like 20 for me.
Well, like right now, high end, or like back when he was.
No. Right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, yeah, high end right now. So like, I would probably more put him like 25 to 30 range. Maybe I'm a little low on him, but I'm also trying to factor in, like one, he's injury prone. If you don't believe that, then go look at his B-ball reference. He's missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
Even if they're freak injuries, they're happening. And also that monster contract, man.
Oh yeah, he's gonna make almost 39 million
last year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's
for
insane.
Blake Griffin.
It's insane. So while it was shocking, and I think he will help them, they did lose a young player on a much better contract in Tobias Harris.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know how
very underrated player in my opinion.
He is. People were acting like the Clippers got robbed, like, and did they get a great return? No, but
well, depending on how Blake works out, if they get a top 10 pick, including with Tobias, that's a really good return in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean Tobias could be gone in 2 years, and Avery Bradley might be gone next year, and they're still talking about trading DeAndre and Lou, and there's a lot of things up in the air. I guess let me just say I get both sides. Clipper fans being pissed at it and being disappointed that Blake is gone. I get that. totally get it. I also get that, that return, like he was never going to get like dollar for dollar,
right?
You're never going to get that especially because of that contract. So while like the normal fan will be like, Tobias Harris, what?
Yeah,
like Tobias Harris is a pretty good player. He's
borderline all-star this year.
Yeah, people don't want to realize it, but I mean, he was their best player behind Drummond by quite a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson's been so bad the past couple of years.
Yeah,
and Avery Bradley had a really down year.
Bradley has been down. Yeah, Tobias this year shooting almost 41% from three on 5.8 attempts per game, 45% overall, shooting free throws at 84.6%. Scoring 18 points a game. If you want to go into more analytics, his offensive rating is 113. His defensive rating is 109. 109 is not great.
He wasn't a good defender. He was a serviceable defender.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if he's below average, like slightly below average, his offense is pretty dang good. So it makes up for that in that way. There we go. His BPM 0.5, his VORP 1.0. Yeah, the defense is negative 1.2 for the defensive box plus minus, 1.7 on offensive plus minus. So that's where it gets the 0.5. I understand while people are like, oh my word, that's not a great return for Blake. Tobias is a good player.
Yeah.
He's only 25.
Yeah.
So, and he's shooting, 41% from three.
Yeah, the Pistons lost their best two shooters in this deal. Even though Bradley was having a down year, he was still shooting the ball decently.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, again, was it a great return? No. But was it like, what was one of like the really bad recent trades for
Boogie?
Like, yeah, I mean, I was never high on Buddy. He's looked okay at times. Did they even get that pick?
I don't.
They did, and then they traded back with Portland.
Right.
So, like, yeah, I would probably put it a little better than that because Tobias is just the best player that in return for other stuff,
I'd argue that straight up that Tobias Harris will get you better value right now than Blake Griffin. Just because of contracts and injury history and age and stuff like that.
If you're gonna go in a vacuum, like just because especially just because of contract wise, because Tobias, I'm coming up on he's making 17 million this year, 17.2. And Blake is what, like
almost 30?
I think it's 32. Yeah, 32 or 35 or something like that. So you're getting quite a bit of the offensive production, of just points, shooting. His rebounding isn't great. It's only 5.1 per game, but yeah, like I mean, you're never gonna get full asking price. So it is what it is. Just
yeah.
You're gonna keep talking yourself in circles like I am right now because I'm being.
Oh no! I was gonna go to the Clippers side more a little bit. The more I look at the trade, the more I like it for the Clippers. I think there's a decent chance that Blake doesn't immediately click with Drummond, and that hurts them short term this season. And that pick could end up being a top 10 pick in what is a absolutely loaded like top 10.
Yeah, that pick is only 1 through 4 protected.
Yeah, so I mean
that's pretty big. Even if they just get a lotto pick, this I've seen. I want a new guy I'm following. I think it's Jacob E. Goldstein. I'm not 100% sure if it's him that has said this. There's about 35 guys that I could see being rotation players.
Oh yeah,
and probably 15 of those guys I could see being like
above average,
above average starters, and then like
I can see like 6 or 7 all-stars, honestly.
So like this is not only just a like good draft, it's a deep draft.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the top, like there's people in this draft that will probably be top 3 picks in previous draft who are like 9, like Marvin Bagley, who's a guy that I'm not as high on him as I am other centers, another big man in this class, but he's still a guy who I can see like going to the NBA and immediately being 20 and 10, you know? And
I mean, I don't see him being 20 and 10 right away, but
I mean, being a guy who has a very high floor just because of his scoring and athleticism alone, he might not reach that peak level, but I mean, he's like a top 8 guy. I remember like top 8-ish. And if you get that after trading Blake Griffin, like that's awesome, you know?
Yeah, this draft could be how we've said that this past draft was franchise changing for the Lakers. This could be a huge draft for the Clippers.
Oh yeah.
They could get
lottery picks.
Yeah, I mean if they fall out of playoffs, which I would assume they do now.
Yeah, oh yeah, they got crushed by the Blazers today. They did not look good.
But I don't think anyone is even from either team is playing yet.
No one's playing for either team. But
so, I mean, yeah, I assume that they fall out, so that means they'll be lotto. And then if the Pistons fall out, that'll be lotto. If they can deal Lou for a first or early second,
I think they can get a lotto for him. Honestly, I think he's been that good this year. He's been all-star.
A lotto pick for a rental.
I get it, but you're not
getting a
a top 20 pick. I mean,
I don't know.
He's been like
go look at the numbers last year. The numbers really aren't that different from last year, and you got number 27 for him. If you want to say 20 to 30 or even 25, I'll be fine with that. But like a lotto or even top 20, I mean, like a team would have to be super.
I think
super desperate. Like, I mean, or like if you're thinking that, like that's a team that's also trying to get DeAndre. So it would be a package deal, which would be hard because that's $30 million between the two of them.
Right. So, but I think this is the difference between this year Lou and last year Lou is that one, he's on a team that recently was winning before the Blake trade. They were winning. They were in the playoff hunt. He was carrying them at times.
I mean, like every team that he's going to go to, he's still going to be a bench dude.
I get it. No, I get it for sure. But I think the perception of him this year from the media and stuff is a lot different than it was last year, which is why I think he can get a top 20 pick. But that's just me.
The perception of him is just that he was on the Lakers last year before he was traded. So like, no, I don't see it. I mean, like, especially Lotto. There's no way in hell he'd get that. If they did, then that's a GM that knows that he's about to be fired and he just doesn't give a crap.
Well, either way, I mean, you never know what you can get in the second round or the first round. I mean, we got Kyle Kuzma in 27, Yeah. So if they draft right, which they haven't done great before this last draft. I mean, I like Evan.
They just never really had great picks. And then
that was Doc always traded the first round picks.
Yeah. And then they would take guys like Bryce Johnson.
Right. Yeah.
Shout out to the Clippers for taking Reggie Bullock, and now he's a rotation player.
Anyway, so after all this news broke, Woj tweeted sometime shortly after that they are also looking and listening to trade offers for Lou and for DeAndre Jordan. And that got me thinking Laker-wise, obviously not Lou. I don't see why you would trade for Lou if you're Lakers. But DeAndre Jordan is a guy that I know me and Clayton have both liked a lot for his whole career, really. I mean, he's a guy that I've always liked. And I think he's a guy that, especially with DeMarcus Cousins hurt now, that I think the Lakers might shift their focus on him. And I've been doing some trade machine stuff. I think they want to get young players and then expiring deals with those young players. I'm assuming, at least. And the trade I came up with was DeAndre going to the Lakers for Brook Lopez, which matches the salaries. And they have some space left. So Larry and then Larry Nance Jr. and Avicii Zubac. So initially, what are your thoughts on that deal? And what do you think how do you think the Clippers' reaction would be to an offer like that?
they would probably want to pick in there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Nance, while some teams may value him as like a first round value, Zubats maybe like an early to mid second round pick. This is also DeAndre Jordan. Well, like Brook would be fine to put there. Then their just defense goes to crap. Brook, admittedly, has been good on defense this year. Not really in space, but I mean, would I do that trade if I'm the Lakers and that's what they wanted and they weren't asking for like a first round pick or something? Yeah, I do that. I do that because DeAndre, if he opts out, you at least get his bird rights. At least I would think you would.
He's definitely opting out of that contract.
Yeah. I mean, but it also just depends on like, could you get DeAndre and then you are able to get rid of other salary and then still get PG?
I think you could, because if DeAndre,
if the real thing would be making sure DeAndre doesn't think he's a max player next year, because no one is giving him 30+ million. Now, if you could get him for what he's getting now or a little less, like say 20, because I mean he's about to turn. I think he's about to turn 30, or he might have already turned 30. Then yeah. I mean, like if he takes the 18 to 22 over 2 to 3 years, yeah, I happily do that. DeAndre,
he's 29, by the way.
Is he 29? Okay, so he'll be turning 30 soon, obviously. I would love that because then you get a mentor for Thomas Bryant on the defensive end. He would help him in a lot of different ways. Thinking like roster construction and everything, I think you would probably have to try and get, say, like one of Jawan Evans
or
Darius or Sam Decker. It really wouldn't matter much. It's just like the Lakers could do like a 3-for-2 and then cut Ennis, which I would be happy to do. But like doing a 3-for-1, then they'd have to cut Ennis. And I don't see them wanting to just give up on Thomas Bryant like that, or give up. I mean, you're trading Zubats, obviously, but I mean, unless they're going to buy out Brewer, which I could see them doing. I could see them doing that. So like, really, that's the only two options, is either getting, the Pistons aren't going to take, or the Clippers probably aren't going to take on Corey Brewer.
No.
Or anything like that. So I don't know. I would think that you would have to get them to take or to give up one of those young guys. Right. Evans, Thornwell.
I think Thornwell will be the most attainable because I think he's been the worst of the three this year. And Jawan, I think they really like Jawan, and from what I've watched, he's been really good for them this year.
Jawan's getting minutes. His advanced stuff is not good.
Oh, okay.
Offensive rating 89, defensive rating 109. Not shooting well. He's getting minutes.
Yeah.
And is he bad as a rookie? Yeah. Like I'm not really that surprised by that. PER of 7.3. Let me look at Sindarius real quick. But Evans is playing like 18 minutes a game while Thornwell's getting about 13 minutes a game.
Well, actually, they might like Tyrone Wallace now a little bit more than him, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, the question is just, do they want to give up one of those guys?
Right.
You know, like, and I would happily take one of those guys on. Those guys are cheap contracts. $815,000, $615. That's cheaper than a veteran minimum deal.
Yeah, they were both second-round picks. So yeah.
Yeah. So, and you've got their rights for another 2 years after this. So then, like, yeah, if you do Evan, let's just do Evans. All right. I'll add him to the trade. It's successful, of course, and then you just cut Ennis. Then that's fine.
I mean, obviously, I would definitely cut Ennis, but why would you need to if the Lakers are giving up?
Oh yeah. Oh my word. I'm thinking completely opposite anytime. Oh well, whatever. Still cut Ennis. Forget it.
Another thing that was kind of brought up during this whole Clippers thing was apparently they have a good feeling that they can get LeBron.
LOL.
Get LeBron, even though we heard today that he does not want to go to the Clippers. Either way, so LeBron and Paul George, of course, are the big fishes in this year's draft or this year's free agency. Of course, those are the two guys the Lakers want the most. And then apparently they want to go after Clay, Kawhi, and Kyrie in the next year. So do you? And I think Clay is a guy that I can definitely see the Lakers getting if they strike out on PG the next year. I can definitely see him as the one that leaves the Warriors. And his dad's here. He seems like he would love Los Angeles because Clay's a weird guy. But do you see the Clippers now having this newfound cap space and Jerry West at the helm, sort of affecting the Lakers in free agency? Just them, not any other team. Do you see the Clippers challenging the Lakers in free agency?
I think they're going to try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LeBron. If they really thought they had a chance at LeBron, that was funny. I don't know how much the guy at Rocket Intellect, how much like inside stuff he has.
Oh no, that's he's just a fan.
Is he? Well, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Paul.
So that joke he had was actually pretty hilarious that he sent to Keith Smith or whatever his name is. I just talked to an NBA exec. He told you to delete your account. That was hilarious. And like honestly, like I don't understand like why would really anyone disagree with that? One clip like history. Okay, we'll just go history. That's Lakers
exceptionalism, baby.
Lakers exceptionalism on that. And then like just look at who you would have around you. Just compare. Like
I just think the fact that he's saying Tobias and Austin Rivers, and I really like Tobias a lot. But
yeah,
I think Ingram has better potential than Tobias. Obviously, I think Lonzo is already a decent starting point guard already.
Yeah,
like in just the grand scheme of things, and
the fact that he brought up Austin Rivers, a guy he's
a solid rotation player, but still,
I don't even know if he's that anymore. He's been pretty bad this year. He's one of the most hated NBA players.
Freaking Chris Paul and Trevor Ariza and
they all try to sneak into the locker room to beat the crap out of him. So getting Tobias, I understand, but then they would still have to dump Gallinari for like nothing, and he's making $20.5 million. You know how difficult that is? I know how difficult it is because I've looked to try and deal Brooke freaking Lopez. It's hard. Okay, like it's very hard to do that. So then like Lou is gone after this year. Bradley is gone after this year. You'd have to deal with freaking Austin Rivers. Like
DJ's gone this year after this
DJ would probably be gone. Then you have another year of Marjanovic. So then like you have next year on the team, according to the trade machine, just guys with extended a couple years left. You'd have Jawan Evans, and Sindarius Thornwell, who we like, but they're not good.
They're nothing yet.
I
would 100% rather have all of our rookies.
Yeah, Decker is an okay-ish player. The best thing about Decker is his fiance.
Yeah, and what's her name? Is it fair name? Whatever.
Yeah, it would be Harlan. It's Kevin Harlan's daughter.
Oh, how did I not put two and two together? That was so dumb.
Patrick Beverly torn ACL, right?
He's a free agent anyway.
No, he's got another year after this.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I think it might be a team option.
Yeah, I think it's a team option, or it's an option for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. So he may or may not be gone, and he'll be coming off an injury. Then you have Wes Johnson, and then
he's love this year, but still.
Yeah, I love. No, he hasn't. 10.2 PR. Like he's not very good. Teodos. Oh my. Why am I not?
Milos.
Yeah, there you go. Milos. There you go. I love Milos. But he's not
defender.
Not very good either. So you would have Tobias Harris, a guy that you would repeatedly want to punch in the face, in Austin Rivers.
Gallo.
And well, if you have Gallo, then you don't
have LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't his whole argument really didn't make a lot of sense. Could they shed some of those salaries and stuff? Yeah, and you could make a move, but at the same time,
Gallinari is going to be he'll be a close sort of dangish type of thing to move since he's always hurt. He won't be dang because he's actually good and he can still play when he's healthy.
Yeah.
But it'll be like halfway to dang, you know.
But like it would literally just be LeBron and Tobias
and Austin Rivers.
And Austin Rivers. So like you're not getting anything. You're not getting anything out of that.
Yeah. Just Clippers alone, they don't scare me at all in free agency. There's definitely other teams that scare me.
I do think that they'll get a couple good players and that with draft picks and stuff like that. I can see
them getting Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I mean, like, I don't like Isaiah, and I still would not want to give him a 1-year contract next year. Like some people, like we've talked about Ben Rosales on the podcast. He said throw him a massive 1-year deal. I want to do that.
I wouldn't mind it.
I understand,
but you've always been sort of low on.
Yeah, I would completely understand it, but pass.
Yeah. So like I said, we're not scared of the Clippers when it comes to big name. Like when it comes to Paul George, there's definitely teams that do scare me when it comes to Paul George, and obviously the Thunder, but they're not one of them. Okay, so moving on. It's been a really crazy 6 days for the NBA. There's been a lot of stuff going on. There's been a lot of really huge injuries, like gigantic free agent altering injuries. Let's start with the biggest name on here, DeMarcus Cousins. It's so unfortunate too because he was having such an awesome season.
Yeah,
and him and AD were starting to finally click, and the team was starting to win some games and go on a roll. And even though I still wouldn't necessarily have wanted him healthy, I still like watching him play, and he's still a really, really good player. I mean, I think he's borderline top 10 player. And he's still an awesome player, to watch. So you never want to see someone get hurt. But this definitely, I don't really want him before, but this definitely crosses him off my list when it comes to free agency. I know you definitely agree with that as well.
Yeah, I didn't want him to begin with at all. I understand the argument that he could be I don't think he could be a top guy on a championship team. No way. He could be possibly a 2, second.
Which he was. I mean, still, AD was the number 1 on that team.
Oh yeah, I mean the roster. If the roster construction of the Pelicans was a lot better, then maybe things go a lot differently. But, yeah,
and especially the injury he has, it's going to be a really tough one to bounce back.
It's a ruptured Achilles.
He Kobe'd it, I said on the
and will that affect him like it would say an athletic big like DeAndre? Even though DeAndre's lost athleticism, would it affect him as much? No, it wouldn't. At the same time, Boogie is not a lean guy. He is borderline fat.
He slimmed down a lot this offseason.
He slimmed down, but he's still
fine.
Chubby, maybe yeah. Let's go chubby. He's not fat, I guess, anymore. He's more just chubby.
Yeah.
But it's also it's his left, and that's his power leg. I saw several people say.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really wouldn't want to give him especially a long-term deal. Oh man, I think at a max, the best thing for Boogie to do now is to re-sign with the Pelicans.
I think what the Pelicans might do is try to make it sort of Embiid-ish, the contract. You know how Embiid has some crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was gonna say that too. So if him going back to the Pelicans makes a lot of sense. Him trying to leave makes no sense for most teams. If the Lakers were to sign him after this, then all they're doing is just going after names. And I'm sorry, I've never really gotten the huge appeal of Boogie. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player. I've repeatedly said that.
Yeah.
But he's not a guy I want around the young guys, and he's not a number 1 option on a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see him aging well, especially now.
Right.
He's what? Is he 27 or 28? I'll look it up.
I believe he's 28, and he's gonna turn 29, I believe. But so sort of spinning it sort of a Lakers way with the Boogie injury. I believe you had a trade up to sort of help them with their front court depth. Right?
Yeah, Boogie's 27. He'll be 28 in August. So for the Pelicans,
yes, Pels.
Well, now since Boogie is out, they're probably going to have to play AD at the 5, really where he should have been in the first place anyways.
Yeah.
But anyways, the deal I came up with is it's not great. It's not perfect. You would probably want picks coming back to LA. Is Tyler Ennis and Larry Nance Jr. for Ian Clark and Frank Jackson. Frank Jackson was a second-round pick last year. Ian Clark has not been good this year.
He's still a shooter, but yeah.
He's still a shooter, but no, he has not been good this year.
Right.
So that would help with their issues at the 4. And Nance has good ball movement, good defense. He could play. He's been showing better play at the 5 recently, which is helpful for a lot of teams. Actually, Ian Clark has been shooting like crap. He's at 30.4% from 3.
Shout out to Cranges.
Yeah. I mean, he's had some games recently that made him look better, but on the season as a whole, he's been garbaggio.
Yeah.
So really what it is you're getting Nance for a guy who's probably not going to come back, in Ian Clark, a explosive Frank Jackson who had that foot injury, which is a bit of a concern. Yeah. And then I would probably try and go after a second-round pick if they have one. I'd have to go look. I don't think they traded really any picks after.
No, they just had
last year.
Their first-round pick from last year.
Yeah, and they can't trade a first-round pick this year. You could, I guess, go for a first-round pick next year.
Yeah.
I don't think they would really want to do that.
No, especially with Boogie.
Yeah. So, but I mean, a second-round pick, I think, or a couple second-rounders, would be okay. It's again, it's not a perfect trade. Sometimes you're going to lose trades, know, and just in perceived value up front.
Right.
Everyone wants to say, yeah, we're going to trade Larry Nance for, a pick 20 to 25. Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
I still think some teams value him like that, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, those teams are maybe Golden State.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Who Golden State is going to be pick number 30. So while I would take that.
That could be Hammy right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like you could use the Denver pick, the second-round pick that they have, that the Lakers have this year, and then like the New Orleans pick, and see if you can package those together for like a late first round or early second. It really would just depend, obviously. But Frank Jackson is the guy that rose up boards last year. People really like him.
I was surprised he declared. I would have thought he would have stayed in there, but I guess since he knew that Trayvon Duval was coming, maybe he didn't.
Maybe now he probably regrets that, because
Duval's been bad.
So like, yeah. Is it a great deal? No. If you could get another asset out of it, it's kind of hard because they don't really have any assets.
If we were struggling for some big men, I would like Diallo, Check Diallo.
Oh yeah. Like I really like Check Diallo, but with Zubats and Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, exactly. And Julius.
Like there's just really no point to it. So like, again, is it a great pick? No. Or a great trade? It's not great. It's also not bad, in my opinion, because you're getting, and this is going to be gone next year. So you could keep Ian Clark.
I pray so.
I know. Believe me, I know. Frank Jackson could be, if you find a way to dump Jordan Clarkson. Frank Jackson is a guy that people were talking about I saw some guys that I really trust with draft had Frank Jackson like between 15 and 25. So you're getting like a guy that some people rated as a first round draft pick, and he could be I think that he could be like a shorter Jordan Clarkson that is a consistently better shooter,
and he's pretty explosive too.
Yeah, when he's healthy. So yeah, I mean, like, again, is it an amazing trade? No, but if you can get Jackson and maybe another second or couple of seconds, then that's a deal that I think you probably make. You don't make it right away,
right?
But yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the most recent injury on this list, Kevin Love. He just fractured. What did he fractured? Was there a specific?
His left hand. It looked like it got caught on Anthony Tolliver's jersey.
Okay, yeah. So he will be out for 6 to 8 weeks, which is very unfortunate to him because he's been getting all this shit thrown at him recently. But I think we've been talking sort of about the Lakers looking to try to trade with the Cavs before all this happened, but I think this brings an even better opportunity. So the trade I came up with was Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance going to the Cavs for Channing Frye, Cedi Osman, and one of D Rose or Jose Calderon. And then we also get the Cavs first round pick. So this gives us a first round pick that we're trying to, we've been trying to get. I think this will be a mid 21, especially with how bad they've been playing recently. Mm-hmm. So like 24, 25 ish.
The real question, while I probably would do this just because, like, again, giving up Nance would hurt. Mm-hmm. He is kind of a sweetener to get rid of Jordan Clarkson, who some people may think that he's going to get a great return. I don't think he's going to get a great return. I think he's going to get a decent return. The whole if you have an at NBA or NBA in your at on Twitter, those people seem to think like they're gonna have to give up a first round draft pick. Shout out to Nate Duncan and Keith Smith. I don't understand where that's coming from.
I mean, Jordan, we've always said this.
Let me put it this way real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so like, say what you will about like getting the pick for Lou Will. He was worth it. Okay,
right, 100%. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
it let us get Kuzma and it let us trade. I mean, as much as I didn't like the D'Angelo trade, obviously, it let us trade one of those picks to get Josh Hart and Thomas Bryant.
Exactly.
We would not have got Kyle Kuzma if we did not trade for that pick.
Exactly. The Washington Wizards last year sent a first round draft pick to the Brooklyn Nets for Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that
Jordan Clarkson is a better player than Bogdanovich.
Jordan Clarkson is a better player. And while is Jordan Clarkson's contract great? No, it's really not great. Okay. But it's not bad. I don't understand how people are saying that it's like some awful contract. Like, he's a better player than Austin Rivers, and Austin Rivers is making a little bit more than him, I think.
Right.
And again, if the Cleveland Cavaliers, if they're making sure like they're keeping LeBron and everything, like then they're over the salary cap anyways. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we like give Jordan crap sometimes, he's a guy that I could like. He can win you a game just for going off for 30, and we've seen that the past couple of weeks. I mean,
with Lonzo out, Jordan Clarkson has probably won us 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, I mean that he had.
That's coming from a guy I don't really like Jordan Clarkson anymore. There's a lot of times where I can't stand watching him, but
right.
But yeah, he has value. And if you say that he doesn't have value, I think all you're looking at is contract.
Right.
And like people think like,
that's a thing too.
He's like 25 or 20. Yeah, I think he's still 25. Yeah. So like people are just like, like everyone wants cap space. Everyone, yeah, sure. Everyone would love cap space, but every team freaking screwed that up. Yeah. During the summer 2 years ago, like no teams. There's like 6 teams that have free cap space. That's it.
Yeah.
So like, there's going to be trades of contracts like that, and it's not going to be necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're a playoff team that's already over the cap.
Right.
Like Nance could be a sweetener in some cases, but like in a deal like this for Channing Frye, Cedi Osman, Jose/Rose, I would instantly cut Rose.
Yeah, I think you waive either one of them, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are gone. And then like if you get a first round pick so essentially you're just getting a first round pick in Cedi Osman for Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance. Like you could equate like the first round pick for Larry Nance and Cedi Osman, a youngish wing. I think he's only 22 for Jordan Clarkson. Like Osman's not getting any time. We're not going to know actually how good he is because he's in Cleveland. Like they just don't develop young guys. Like, has he been good? No,
he's been bad.
Like he's been bad, but like you're also getting rid of Jordan Clarkson's deal at the same time. So like it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. So getting that first round draft pick, if it's between like 23 to 26, 27, like again, we've had really good drafts with when we have number 27. So
yeah, I mean Larry and Kuz are both rotation players, and Kuz might be a star, you know. All right, moving on. We can really find a deal for this guy, but I just wanted to mention him. John Wall is out for 6 to 8 weeks with a knee cleanup. Going off the Lakers for a second, does this worry you about John Wall's future? And the contract as well, or is this just the thing?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy who relies a lot on his speed and athleticism.
Yeah.
He's not a shooter, so like he's going to have to become like J Kidd and just become a shooter all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Which I just don't know if he can become
he's been better. I think he's shooting 35% from the three right now.
I'll look it up.
So I thought he is shooting better from a 3-point line, but he's shooting worse from the field overall this year at least.
He is, he's shooting 35.8 on 4 attempts per game, which that's again not bad. His free throw percentage has tanked. It's 72% compared to 80% last year. He's shooting less efficiently from the field as a whole. It's a concern. This is not. I don't think it's the first knee issue that he's had.
This is his second sort of surgery on it, I think.
Yeah, and
didn't he tear his ACL like his first year in Washington?
No, I think it was like a meniscus or something. I'd have to go look back. I don't want to speculate on it, but or be wrong on it. But yeah, as a guy who relies on his speed, he's going to be 28 next season, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, in September. So by the time the season starts next year, he'll be 28. He'll have 5 more years with that mega extension he signed.
Yeah.
I want to be really happy.
Yeah.
When Bradley Beal signed his deal, you can remember.
I was just gonna bring.
I was not happy about that. I was really wrong. I didn't think Bradley Beal was going to be. Yeah, full stop. I just didn't think Bradley Beal was going to be healthy.
That's my guy.
He had not been healthy when they signed him to that, and then all of a sudden he signs that contract and he's freaking picture of health.
I love that. That I was right about that one. I'm not right about a ton of stuff, but
yeah, I just my thing is that the money scared me just because of how much he was hurt.
So I'm assuming because I was gonna ask in a vacuum considering contract.
I'm taking Beal.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on to this is one that isn't really a trade candidate, but I think
real quick, if people are listening. Merge didn't mean that the Lakers would be trading for Wall. It was
no.
Making a because you said like we couldn't make a trade work for that. It was we were trying to find like to help them and us like send Clarkson to for bench pieces, but they can't trade their first round draft pick this year because they gave it to the Nets last year. Shout out Nate Duncan about can't trade blah blah blah. But yeah, they don't have the contracts. Short term, the expiring contracts to make that work,
right?
And you're not getting guys like Kelly Oubre and stuff like that because that dude is going to get paid. He's been very good.
I think he's gonna end up being better than Porter, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, he's got more ball skills than Porter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Porter will be obviously the better shooter.
I mean. When game better too.
He's been I do love that, but Porter's like 7th or 8th in the NBA in 3-point percentage. So
and we just need all of his swag in Los Angeles. He would be the greatest person in Los Angeles.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but
he'd be so great in LA.
Oh no, I would love him in LA. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Like a mega Jordan Clarkson, like after the game interviews and stuff like that. Oh, that would be a gold mine. All right, moving on to an injury that isn't really one that we're looking for a trade, and we couldn't find a trade to help them either. But this is one that affects the Lakers long term. It's Andre Roberson from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, he isn't really a guy that I think casual fans would look at, and he gets hurt, and people are like, "Oh, this is a big deal," you know. And it's a big deal with Roberson getting hurt. I mean, he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He was a top 3 candidate he's a top 3 perimeter defender in the league. I mean,
and he's got the size and length to defend 4s and some small ball 5s.
Exactly. And I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like,
when he went down, man, all the numbers, like the net rating without him,
they're like a -16 or something like that, -15.
And then like with him, they're like a +20. It's just disgusting.
No, he's for what he doesn't give on offense, he really tries his ass off and is awesome at it on the defensive end.
Yeah, and it's a weird situation because he on the offensive end he's a complete zero. But if you treat him as like a slashing 4 type guy, kind of like I go back to this and I never understand why Billy Donovan has never gone back to it. Or maybe was it Scott Brooks that whatever, who cares? The series when they still had Durant.
Was that the Warriors one? Because that was Donovan.
Yeah, the Warriors one. Okay, Donovan. That they were using Roberson as like a slashing 4 type guy.
He was killing the Warriors too.
Oh, he was killing them. And then like apparently the last 3 games they totally forgot who Andre Roberson was and what he had been doing.
They let Russ just take over and
So if you could, like, there are ways to use him. Is he going to be like a great offensive player? No, but at the same time, like I think he's more. There are ways to use him in which he has value and gravity and in ways like that. You know,
for sure.
So, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the whole him and Paul George kind of a thing for Lakers.
Oh yeah, like without Roberson, Paul George has not put up good defensive numbers. With Roberson, it's their elite numbers. So like it's while everyone jokes about how bad he is on offense. I mean he like the defense is just it's really that good.
Yeah, and I think for me this changes them into a team that could potentially upset a Rocket. Not a Rockets team, but like who could at least challenge in like the second round to a team that I can see losing to the Timberwolves in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And that's huge for the Lakers.
Yep.
Because if they go out first round and Paul George sees the Wolves aren't even close to what they could be, and you know the Warriors are still here, and the Spurs didn't really have Kawhi this year, and you know who knows what Pop can do and who he can get. You know, I think that it gives the Lakers a better chance to get Paul George. And obviously I wasn't wishing that Robertson would get hurt. I'm not happy Robertson's hurt, but it helps the Lakers out in that way in free agency to give the Lakers a better chance to maybe pursue Paul George. Okay, then last about the trades and stuff, I wanted to bring up some trades that we personally have been looking at, that not necessarily with teams who are, you know, trying to make a playoff push and they're in need of someone. Clayton, I'm gonna start with you. Do you have any trades in mind that you would like to throw out there? Have you made one for McCaw yet? Because I feel like
I did. I did. Of course I did. The easiest one to do is McCaw for Larry Nance.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot of sense, I think, for both teams.
The Warriors return him to a damn monster. Oh man.
Yeah. The way that what's that dude's name?
Jordan Bell.
No. The writer, the one that blocks everyone if you ask him.
Oh, I don't know how to say
about stools.
It's Tim something.
Yeah, that guy. I can't remember his name.
Everyone just called him Tim, so
yeah, we'll go with him. he was making it sound like they want like a replacement for McCaw. I don't know if that really would be a requirement, especially when it gets to the playoffs.
Especially when it comes to the Warriors too. I mean, you can run KD as a 2 if you really wanted to, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like it would hurt them a bit, obviously, but when it gets to the playoff time, he's not going to see the floor very much. You know?
Larry, I think he actually.
No. I meant with Pat. Like he's not going to see the floor very much. So like what this trade would just do is this Nance is better than Kevon Looney. He's better than Damian Jones.
He might be better than Jordan Bell right now. Maybe. That's an argument.
Nance is
at the moment.
I mean, Nance is a 0.1 better PER, which I mean doesn't mean squat really. Right. But like that could be an insanely fun backup 4 or 5 right there. That would just be stupid.
Bell and Larry would be ridiculous.
Oh, it'd be all the oops. But I would do that. It would be difficult because McCaw is a restricted free agent. I don't know what exactly his cap hold is since he was a second round pick. Right. You do lose a year of cost control with Larry Nance. But I would do that. I would probably try and see if you could get a second round pick for them.
I mean, yeah, it'll be like a 50-something round, 50-something pick.
So like, I mean, like I'd be fine with that, right. Honestly, because
knowing our scouting department, they're gonna find the next manager Ginobili down there.
and I do love McCaw. Like I think McCaw could still be really good.
He's been really bad recently, but I think
he's been bad recently, but
people still like him a lot.
Super raw, super young. I think
especially with a team like the Lakers who just wants to run.
Yeah. I would do it. I would do it. I would have I just wouldn't have really any qualms about that. I would do it.
Right. I have one that this is I love Rodney Hood. So I did Larry Nance Jr. for Rodney Hood straight up, and it works. I think Clayton, you said before the podcast that did you say you would want a second return, or we'd have to give up a second?
I think they would try and get a second from us.
And like I said before, I would do that. I think Rodney Hood is a starter quality player. I think he gets unlucky with his injuries, but when he's on, that dude can kill you.
The main problem is his cap hit's going to be $8 million this year,
right?
Because he's going to be a restricted free agent. He's hurt a lot. And what I love to have Rodney Hood, yes, I have no problem confessing my love for Rodney Hood too.
Rodney Hood is,
but it's just he's hurt a lot, and it's starting to be a real concern.
I think Rodney Hood in a grand scheme of things, I think you can get him pretty cheap on the restricted free agent market, and they might just renounce his rights.
I seriously doubt that. They've made him available. If you could do that, it would be interesting, especially because they seem set on dealing favors. So then Nance could take over for favors.
The thing about here's another thing about the value for Hood. We saw on Twitter today. I don't know how credible it was, but it said Kevin O'Connor said that they were thinking about, or they're talking about Hood for Stanley Johnson. And if that's the case, Larry Nance Jr. is a much better player than Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, but the question is do they want to wing and do and I don't know if that was necessarily the Jazz that were considering that.
Right.
That was probably the Pistons. And of course the Pistons try and do that.
That would be the perfect pickup for them.
Yeah. Stanley Johnson had a great game tonight, of course, because I was talking crap about him today. Yeah, so of course that's what always happens. But I just don't know if they would do that. I think because wings are more valued than 4-5s. And if they called us and asked about doing that, I would do that. But I just would be kind of uncomfortable with his injury history. It's already starting to pile on.
Gotcha. I mean, I get it. I would take the risk personally. I still think he can be a.
Would I take the risk? Yes, I would. Yeah. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. That I would turn it down. It's just it would be also something that I would kind of be like,
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
Especially since he doesn't seem like he has improved his numbers. Like he seemed to improve a bit last year, but then this year he apparently thought he was going to just be some type of legit scorer, and he's not. He's like a secondary or third scorer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes a lot of bad shots, and he pauses a lot when he shouldn't, and it's.
I mean, he's still pretty young too, though.
Yeah,
right?
I think he's
22, 23?
No, he was a senior when he came out. He's probably 20.
He was?
Or he might have been a junior. He's 25. Yeah, so he's not. He's 3 years. So yeah, he was a senior. So don't you dare play on me autoplay. But but yeah, I mean, again, I would do it. I also don't think Utah would do it.
Okay, so did you have another one?
I have several ones that I would love to do.
Well, pick one right now.
Like one with the Lakers and say the Magic. You know, I've been going on and on about this one for I don't know how long.
Ever since Mario Hezonja got drafted.
Ever since Mario Hezonja got drafted. You could do like one that's been talked about recently. Elfrid Payton's on the market. Mm-hmm. No one really knows exactly what he is still. If
Elfrid Payton cuts his hair, then that's a big difference.
I literally would do a code red on him, like from A Few Good Men. In the showers, I'd pin him down and I shave that thing off. I don't know. Is he the one that does it for his mom?
I don't know, but when it's legit affecting your shot,
it's affecting it so much that he airballed a shot that was within 8 feet of the basket. Yeah, no one was in front of him.
The hair went in front of his face. And
he couldn't see the basket. Like, come on, dude. Like,
there has to be some sort of compromise you can make with that.
If it really is for your mom, like, I think your mom would also be like, hey, cut it so you can actually see the hoop. Like,
unless she's, not alive, but
I don't know. Like, and I do think she did pass away, but I don't think that she would want him to hold on to something like that if it's continuing to be an issue for his career. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's insensitive, whatever.
Like, she's alive still, by the way.
Is she? Okay. Well, then who does that? Is it? Maybe it is him, and it's I don't know. But anyways,
I don't know.
Cut that crap. Maybe you can actually become a better player than I think you are. So like you could do something like Mario and Elfrid, and you probably have to throw in some other type of expiring or whatever, like Shelvin Mack.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull this off. Let's throw in Elfrid just for giggle. Oh crap! I could actually do that right now. When it would be totally fine. Clarkson for Mack, Hezonja, and Payton. You could throw in Ennis just because why not?
Because
I mean, that would work. Hezonja, you could see what he is. He's starting to show signs because he's finally getting time. Payton showing signs. I still have no idea what he is.
His thing is his playmaking. That's what he's really good at. Is just passing the ball.
He can't shoot worth a lick, but
if you have a shooter next to him, he should be fine.
Well, I mean.
If you have like Josh Hart next to him,
and then Shelvin Mack, even though he's making $6 million this year, he's only guaranteed $1 million next year. So, you could easily let him go if he's not very good, or if the team agrees to just move on. Right. So that's one. Maybe you could get like a second round pick for that. I don't know. No, probably not, because Payton probably could actually get some value somewhere.
Yeah, I think he probably could, but.
The other one is you probably heard it on a lot of other podcasts, such as Lakers Legacy Pod. They like is it Timmy or Tommy on there? Yeah, Tommy's the one that has been talking about Bellinelli. You'd have to do Bellinelli and
give me Bembry.
Yeah. Probably Delaney, and I would take Bembry, but I don't know if they're ready to give up on him.
Well, I honestly think they might be getting a wing in this. Well, no, they're what? They're like top 3 right now, I think, in the lottery.
Yeah,
and if they don't get Trey or Luka, They might just go Ayton and Collins would be kind of ridiculous together, but
yeah. So like Clarkson for Bellinelli, Malcolm Delaney, and DeAndre Bembry works. The only salary that would remain would be Bembry's. But if he's not good, then you can just decline his option. I still think that he has a chance to be good. He just seems to be hurt at the times like when you want to start playing him.
Yeah.
Delaney's an okay backup. He's nothing amazing, but
he's this bear pretty much.
He's better than Ennis.
Right. I mean, and you can make a long list of players who are better than Ennis.
Yeah. Unless you're Maroney, and then he's very underrated.
It goes Dylan Brooks, Tyler Ennis.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray.
Oh, Canada.
Dylan Ennis. He's not even in the NBA, but Dylan Ennis.
Yeah. And then Bellinelli is an okay shooter, and he's kind of productive.
Better than Corey Brewer.
Yeah, I mean, like I've talked with a couple people online about Bellinelli. I don't really see the appeal of Bellinelli.
I think the appeal is he's not Corey Brewer.
Maybe people think that he's a lot better shooter than he really is. He's the last 4 years, he's never shot better than 37%, which would be good for the Lakers because we have still crap shooting. But
we don't have our only close shooter to 40 is Kuzma.
Yeah. But he's a 37.6 career 3-point shooter, which of course does provide production, but really that's the only thing he does, and he's not even elite at it. So
honestly, there's a couple guys I would wait in free agency to get to.
Yeah, that would be honestly better than him.
Shout out to Doug McDermott, but
yeah. I mean, he'll have his cap hold. The Knicks will probably just keep a hold of him. But for just to finish out the year, he'd be fine, I guess. But they've got the appeal for Atlanta. If you're the Lakers, is they've got like 4 picks in the top 35.
Yeah,
that's top 35 or so. So like, they already have quite a few young guys. So let me clear off real quick. So they want to get rid of Bays just because it's a lot of money. They're stuck with Miles Plumlee. So young guys. Schroeder is what, like 23 or 24.
Yeah, he's a lot older than he is, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Torian Prince, he's a few years old. Like he's like 23 or 24 too, I think. Collins, I think he's still 19. Dude is really young.
Yeah, he's young.
Bembry. So, I mean, you could look at other guys like they have Tyler Dorsey, who they drafted in the second round and really like him. They really like him. They gave Isaiah Taylor a 2-year deal.
Then they give a former defender, what's his name, Majette.
Yeah, they have Majette. He's on a 2-way.
Gotcha.
But the thing is that's a lot of young guys. So Schroeder 1. Prince 2, Collins 3, Bembry 4, Tyler Dorsey 5, and then four picks next year. You're gonna obviously get. Let me pull up just Tankathon, since that's the
I believe they are 2 right now. Orlando is the worst.
Yeah, they're at 2 right now. So they would have 2. They would have 25, 29, and 32.
Jeez.
So you could see if you could pull 29 from them, or maybe 32. Either one. I mean, there's not much of a difference there. Holy crap! Tankathon has Bruce Brown dropping already to 30.
Lakers.
But
Lakers.
Oh my word! Get out of here. That's just a lot of uncertainty. So there's a lot of value in those, obviously, but they have quite a bit of cap room next year. With Bellinelli, with Ilyasova coming off, I
can see them throwing money at some unrestricted free agents.
Yeah,
like Jabari Parker. I can see them doing that. Hey, back on Friday. You ready for Jabari to be back?
I probably won't even watch a game because he's not very good. Don't I don't care what anyone says.
No, I was just gonna say you're gonna pass up Giannis, so you can't watch Jabari Parker.
I will. Yeah, no. Like,
wow.
I don't hardly watch the Bucks anyways. They're not usually very fun, which is sad because
hey, they won 4 straight now. But
Giannis is fun. Yeah, shout out to Jason Kidd, wife beater.
White Baron Scott.
Oh my word. Anyways, getting JC from oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Getting JC would provide actual production, because even if JC is inconsistent, you generally know what you're going to be getting from him. And that there is value to that. They're not going to be very good. So maybe what you could see them do is like Nance and the Nuggets or not Nance, Clarkson and the Nuggets pick for like
25.
25, and then the other guys to make the salaries work.
Right.
So there's potential options out there. The question really is with stuff like that is how much is Orlando going to want to take on JC? How much is Atlanta going to want to take on JC? Because they're just both really bad right now. There's really no point for them to do it.
Yeah, JC sort of seems like a guy that would be a team that's good would want.
Yeah, you're either going to be trying to trade him for something like that, or you're going to be trying to trade him to a team like Cleveland, who's just so far over the tax it really doesn't matter at this point.
Right.
Who they have 24, and they have Shake Milton in the
Shake.
That I would still take Lonnie Walker and Mitchell Robinson.
Oh yeah, no, I would take Lonnie still borderline lottery, but that's just me.
Same. Oh yeah, no, because they have Trayvon Duval at 18. Someone needs to talk to them. But yeah, I think that there are trades there. It's just going to be very interesting. Is it going to be a team that's just so far over the cap, or is it going like Atlanta? It just makes a lot of sense in my opinion. But at the same time, if they really don't want to like potentially win a couple more games, then
they're a team I can see like all of a sudden get like a bunch of wins out of nowhere. Because Coach Bud's a good coach.
Yeah.
And if they do end up getting the top pick, I mean, Luka Doncic or DeAndre Ayton,
a
lot, or Trey. Speaking of draft picks, to end off the podcast, I'm gonna name off a bunch of lower guys, and I want you to give me a quick sort of impression of them. Right, I have guys here. I want to see what you do, Clayton.
Okay.
All right. So first player. A forward out of Boise State, Chandler Hutchinson.
Like what you mean? What range I would see him being taken
just,
in? Or?
Just like if you like any sort of potential fit with the Lakers, how you like?
Oh yeah, no, Hutchinson is a really good fit. I like him a lot. Can handle a little bit, can shoot a little bit, can defend some. He's 6'7" with like a 7'1" wingspan, I believe.
Yeah,
so right. He's kind of a do it all. He's scoring efficiently now. He had started off the year rough. Freshman year, he was not very good. Sophomore year, he got a little bit better. It's his junior year now, I believe.
Yes.
He tested the waters last year, decided to come back, which looks like a great move on his part. He skyrocketed.
Oh yeah.
So the question now is how high is he going to go? And if something is going to hold him back, like how Bruce Brown broke his hand, or was it his hand?
Oh, his foot.
His foot. Yeah. I would be more than happy to take him on. He would just kind of he'd be like a 6'7", maybe not quite as good off the bat Josh Hart, in my opinion. Like I need to watch more.
Right. Okay? No. I've seen people like Sam Vecini sort of liken him to Kuzma.
Yeah,
which would be fun. Two Kuzma would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. He's I believe he's shooting something stupid from 3-point.
Yeah, he's been really good. Okay,
I'll look it up.
Moving on, next person. He's also a riser recently. Javon Carter from West Virginia.
I literally have no idea anything about him. I don't watch West Virginia.
Well, one thing, he looks like he's 30.
He's balding. No, Hutchinson is a senior. I thought he was a junior. He's shooting 38% now. I had seen several people say it was over 40. That might have just what that could be is that he started out the year rough and now he's shooting like flames.
Right.
But you can see going back and looking, you've seen a steady progression through his college career.
Yeah.
He's almost 20 points per game for him. Javon Carter, I know a lot of people are high on him.
The thing I know most about him is that he's a awesome defender. That's his calling
defender. I don't know if he really does anything else. I think he can play.
He's a guy that can shoot off the dribble. He can attack the rim a little. He's not like overly athletic, but he can shoot. He can sort of attack. He's sort of a guy that you'd want sort of running your offense off the bench.
Yeah. I mean, my question then, and you probably know what it is. How tall is he?
I forget. I want to say
I got it. He's 6'2".
Oh,
which it's just I guess it's fine. But yeah, he looks like he's 30. And now I just have Bad Boys 2 stuck in my head. But that's a guy who obviously I need to see more of.
Right.
Some people I trust are really high on him. Others I've seen that are just kind of not very high on him. I guess just to go just ridiculous with it. I'll look at what the Stepien has on him real quick.
Right. Just from like what I've seen of him, he's a really good defender, really high motor type of guy on defense.
On the Stepien, they have him at 24.
Yeah, I know Cole is high on him. I know Ben Rosales is high on him. I think Jerry is too. But he's. I mean, that's a guy that I'd want to go after, a guard who can shoot, who can handle, who play defense. You know,
honestly, he might go before the Lakers even have a.
He's been rising up a lot recently. I think his defense is a big reason for that. And
I still take Lonnie Walker and Bruce.
He's kind of like over him. He's kind of like if Tyler Ulis was like 6'2" defensively. At least. Moving on, forward from Ohio State, Keita Bates-Diop. I know he's been really rising up boards. Like he's probably the biggest riser out of all these guys. Bates-Diop. I know he's a guy that I heard about a little bit last year. He got hurt last year. He played with. I remember he played with D'Angelo at Ohio State. But what have you watched any of Diop, or what's your opinion on him?
The parts that I have is that he really likes the mid-range game. He's super long. He's like Ingram long.
Yeah.
It's like 6'8", 6'9", with like a 7-foot wingspan, or 7'2", 7'3" wingspan. They have him listed at 6'7", I think, but no, he looks a little taller. He's shooting 38% from 3 this year.
I think that's a thing that he's improved on a lot in his college career.
Yeah, his freshman year he shot 46%. That said, it was on 1.2 attempts per game. He was injured almost all year last year, so kind of throw that out the window.
Yeah.
His sophomore year was decent. 11, almost 12 points a game, 32.4% on 3. He's a guy that I've kept an eye on since D'Angelo was there.
Yeah.
Some people are talking first round pick.
I've heard him as like the highest out of all the guys that I have here, and maybe not the Miami guys, but the highest of.
No, I think Hutchinson is by far the highest of the guys, other than maybe Lonnie, since Lonnie is starting to rise upwards too. Yeah. I've had a Lonnie in the top 20 for most of the year, so but no, I would take Hutchinson above him right now. I think he just has more potential. Like Bates-Diop he's an interesting player. He's a guy to watch. If you have a early second, that's a guy to target, especially if you can tell him, hey, stop taking mid-range shots and shoot threes and just defend, because he's got prototypical 3-and-D stuff because he's super long. He's a pretty good defender. I wouldn't say he's an elite defender. I know people.
He's not like Carter.
Yeah, no. Like I said, he's a good defender, borderline on great, not elite. If that makes any sense. That's like a good one. Yeah, I mean, like I'd be happy with him if you can get him early second. Right. I don't know if I would really take him a late first because there are just a lot more wings that I like a lot more than him. So that would kind of be like if we're gonna go off the Stepien, like I'm taking Hamadou before him. Not even questioning that. I'm taking Hutchinson. I'm taking Brown. I'm taking Milton. I'm taking Walker. On and on. Again, he not a guy that I would be upset with, but not a guy that I would just be like, holy crap, that was a great, like it'd be like, yeah, that's a solid pick.
Right. These next three guys are guys who are probably going to be early to mid second guys. So first one is Aaron Holiday, point guard from UCLA, brother of Drew and Justin Holiday. What have you seen from him? I know he's pretty athletic. I haven't seen a ton, but I know he's a pretty athletic guy.
Yeah, all the UCLA guys rave about him. I have barely enough time to watch it like Lakers nowadays is because I'm just so busy with work and school. What I have is he's fast. He's elite, quote unquote leader. Problem is he's for me, he's like 6'1". So like he could be a legit backup. I think that's what he could be. He obviously would then have some chemistry with Lonzo, so they could, run some lineups together. It wouldn't be a bad pick. I just would think that it would kind of be like an uninspired pick, depending on obviously the range.
Right.
But let me see where they.
I believe he's
they on the Stepien. There's only one person that has him ranked at 67.
Oh,
so he's, but on their list, I guess is like a whole ranking. He's at 88. So like they're not really super high on him, which a lot of the guys that are probably ahead of them are probably going to stay in. Like they're going to stay at college, like probably Jalen Hands at UCLA. He's probably going to stay.
I really like Jalen Hands. Next year, that dude's going to be a fun one to look at.
Justin Jackson should probably stay in because he's not been good this year. Brandon McCoy maybe should stay another year. Then there's a whole bunch of Europeans that probably aren't going to declare, stuff like that. Yves Pons, a guy that we both have loved because he's so athletic. He'll probably stay. He probably got to stay just because like I don't even know if he plays very much, to be honest.
No, I just know he just murders people at the rim.
Yeah, he gets up and he's long and he can finish on people.
That sounds like my guy.
Like Anthony. I was looking.
Well, Anthony Simmons is a guy that I was gonna bring him up.
We don't know if he's going to even declare, but he would be a high school to NBA draft because
it's funny. I've seen some mock drafts that have the Lakers taking him at like 46. Anthony Simmons, but
yeah, I would. Simmons is an interesting pick. He's still pretty young, obviously, since he's still in high school. He can supposedly he's an elite shooter. I don't know if he's exactly that elite. Defense isn't great. He's not super long. He's not super athletic. So it would be just kind of like you're trying to go for a home run for a guy that is just mainly going to be skills, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if he declares yet.
One of your favorite college prospects in the last 3 years. I don't know how to say his whole name, but I'm just going to say Svi from Kansas.
He's like 89 on the Stepien. Yeah. Svi had Slofa. Oh my goodness, I'm just terrible at his name.
Just say Svi.
Yeah, Svi. Svi is the greatest player of all time. No, but seriously, he's only 20. Even though he's a senior, he started at Kansas when he was like 16 or 17. He's got like a negative wingspan, which means that I shouldn't like him. but like he's got potential as a 3-point shooter. He's like 6'6" or 6'7". Might have grown up to be 6'8" now. He can slash a bit, like as a cutter. Can kind of attack a closeout. He's shown progression, not anything great, but again, he's only 20.
Yeah.
And also Bill Self just didn't play him a lot his first 2 years.
No, yeah.
So he started playing a lot more last year, and then this year he's a huge part of Kansas. I like him. He's a guy that you could project to be in a 39% plus 3-point shooter, in my opinion. I think I'm that high on his shooting. Will it happen? Who knows? I have no idea. But if you can get like late second,
he can be a guy that might be a 2-way guy.
Yeah. He might go undrafted, so you could probably get him on you could possibly get him on a 2-way. You could, get him as an undrafted free agent, bring him in the camp, see what you got. He would be a guy that just, you're hoping that the shooting, because the shot is very nice.
Yeah.
That it translates. So yeah, I would be, I don't know if I would pick him even before like 45.
Right.
But he'd be cool. I'd be fine with taking him later.
He would definitely be the most memed guy in the Lakers. Last guys, I just want you to gush about these two. Talk about your Miami guys. Talk about your Miami guards, man.
Miami guys. Lonnie Walker is awesome.
He's the best.
I do think that a lot of people have dropped him at the very beginning of the year. He was not good. He was coming off of meniscus tear, I believe, or maybe it was some type of MCL injury. I can't remember. Whatever. Mm-hmm. We'll have plenty of time to remember that when it comes time. Cole has him at 19, and then like two of the other guys have him at 32 and 34. That would be Mike. Mike has never been high on him, but like really Mike had him at like 70 to begin with. So the fact that he's jumped that high is pretty impressive. Jackson Hoy, one of their new guys at the Stepien, he's got him. I think he's got him at 34 now. Lonnie's young. Lonnie's raw. But he's got a very pretty shot. He's 6'4", 6'5".
He's an insane athlete.
Yeah, he's a pretty dang good athlete. 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. So he's a little short, but he's really long. If you want to go look at the Stepien, shout out to Cole. He's not super thin. Mm-hmm. He's got some size to him already. He's that explosive leaper, as you said. He can just really get up.
Yeah.
He's pretty quick. I wouldn't say he's an elite burst guy. Like, he's obviously not a Westbrook, or else he'd be a lot higher.
Oh my god, if he was Westbrook fast, then he'd be a top 10 pick.
But yeah, he's solid with that. He'll get by guys. The shot is clean. It's as Cole has it on here, compact. It's repeatable. There shouldn't be any issues with that, unless for some reason he turns into Markelle Fultz. R.I.P. Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, he's got a lot of different ways to score. The defense is going to be something that is going to take a while.
It's been projected. Like, I don't think he was ever a bad defender, like in high school.
No, and like, he's got the length and the athleticism, so he should be able to get or stay even with guys.
Yeah.
The team defense isn't great. It's getting better. So while
Miami's had a tough season overall.
Yeah, they've been really disappointing, sadly. They started off really high, and then now they've been crushed.
Yeah, Bruce and Lonnie.
Lonnie started out bad. Now he's doing good. Bruce has not been good this year.
He's been bad.
He's been bad. Which
he should have left last year, man.
He quite possibly. But you could see him still declaring. Just honestly, he probably just should declare, because if you don't want to bottom out your stock anymore, because at this point he's a late first round pick. He is older. He's already 22. He's not super long. He's 6'5", and he's got, if you look at a picture of him, he has muscle to him, even though he's for some reason listed at 190. That dude is heavier than that. I can tell you that right now.
190 is like D'Angelo.
Yeah, exactly. But he is, when the foot is okay, the dude is explosive.
Yeah, that dude should
so he would be a really, really interesting guy to
he's a guy that you'd love to pair with Lonzo.
Yeah. You wish that he could shoot a better 3-ball. It's not the worst, but it's not great.
Yeah. And so, like the biggest thing with him too is his defense as well.
Yeah, his defensive potential. He's,
like I said, him and Lonzo together would be
ridiculous. he as Cole wrote back in November, Brown also brings capable secondary playmaking, which is so
that's huge. That's important huge for us. That's huge for the Lakers, man.
For the Lakers to the table, and the ability to make open college threes off the catch. So if he can, I think that he'll be able to extend it because he is strong. He should be fine with that. I think that if he falls to 30, that is a guy you need to zero in on.
Especially for the Lakers, because the Lakers need those secondary ball handlers, man.
Yeah, and like I think that he could be a more like a JC type, a Clarkson type, with defense and a more purposeful playmaking. So like it's not going to be like the only way he playmakes is how JC does, is
when he's running the show, pretty much.
Yeah, dribble. That simple read of just hitting the dive, man. It's Bruce Brown is going to be able to set up guys a little bit better than that. He's not an elite ball handler, or passer, but it's a guy that I would love to have. I mean really, there's so many in that range. Like I would love to get 2 picks in that range again, because there really is a lot. Like I said, a lot of depth. And Bruce Brown at the beginning of the year was like borderline lotto. Lonnie Walker for a lot of people was borderline lotto. Hamidou Diallo, he slipped.
He's having some trouble with the coaches, from what I've heard.
Yeah, he probably bolts, I would think.
Yeah,
and you can get maybe it's just
first. Maybe it's just Calipari being Calipari sometimes,
Yeah, if you can get him in the late first and just get Luke to make him realize that defensive potential, because he's so he's an explosive athlete.
I'm just picturing Lonzo lobs from like full court.
Pretty much. Well, to Diallo, yeah. Well, I mean, really, but I mean, like, then just get it shooting. Like you pay the Spurs shooting coach all the money. Like, give him a piece of the Lakers franchise.
Give him like half you can turn money.
Yeah.
Send him to Hawaii.
Yeah. There's this, like I said, this draft is it's really something else. If you can get 2 picks in that 20, we'll go say 21 to like 35 range, and you could get 2 really solid rotation players there.
Yeah, 2 guys you didn't bring up. I'm not gonna go in depth on them, but 2 guys that you can bring up: Landry Shamet from Wichita State and Jalen Brunson from Villanova are 2 other guys in that range who I would really look at. But yeah, the draft is weird with wings. It's like there isn't an elite wing. I still don't really count Porter or Doncic as wings. But after them, it's like it's a huge drop off. But then it's like really deep in like the mid to late first round.
Yeah,
like guys who can be rotation players, like you said.
Yeah, there's this draft, man.
I really wish we had our pick this year. You know how awesome Jaren Jackson Jr. would have been with the Lakers.
Well, I mean, you would probably need to be top 5 for that.
I don't think he's gonna be top 5. Honestly, I think I would have him top 5. I don't think the team takes.
I think that any team that has watched some of his game tapes recently, he's definitely top 5.
I think Bagley is drafted before him.
If so, then okay.
Just because he's, I wouldn't do it. personally, but I think scouts. I mean, there was an article like early in this year saying that Bagley was like the next Giannis, and I'm like, what?
That's terrible. That's a terrible. Whoever wrote that should be ashamed of themselves.
But yeah,
I mean, really, I would have something like in the top 5. Ayton, I've completely
flipped. Ayton number 1.
No, I still have Luka 1.
Oh, okay.
Luka 1, Ayton 2, I think.
I'm starting to put. I honestly, I watch Ayton and then he goes off and I'm like, oh, he's 2. And then today I watched Trae Young go off for 45.
Yeah, they're like Luka for me is still in his own tier.
I don't know. Those 2 are coming up on that tier.
And then Trae, and I mean, just because he's in his own tier doesn't mean like he's far and away.
Oh no, I know, but I'm saying
Trae and Ayton are close behind, and then
Porter and
I would have Porter and Jackson.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people have Bagley higher. I just have those 5 higher than him.
I can see Bagley is a guy who I think is going to come into the NBA. He's going to put up points and put up numbers, but his advanced stats are not going to like him. If I think that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we got a little off topic right there. The rest of it, we're probably going to have a full-on draft podcast sometime in the future because I love this class way too much.
Yeah. Which is sad because we only have 1 pick in like the mid-40s.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we're going to end it here. Thanks for joining us. We're definitely going to start trying to make some moves. Website stuff like that. Try to promote it a lot more.
We've been saying that forever.
No.
Eventually, it is. Eventually, it's going to happen. But
like, I think I've been like trying to actually do my research and stuff recently. But
look at you.
Thank you. More podcasts in the future. I think we're probably gonna have another trade deadline one, probably after trade deadline.
We might even have one before trade deadline if
I mean
more
the way it's gone so far. It's been a crazy few days, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone like DJ or Lou or someone like that got traded soon. But we're gonna have at least one in the next week and a half. Just for the trade deadline. Lakers have a few games coming up. All-Star break's coming up soon. Yeah. So hopefully Lakers can end this streak off a little just to keep on winning that they've been before. But hopefully Lonzo comes back, stuff like that. But anyway, you can follow the podcast at Under the Bus Pod on Twitter. I'm gonna start tweeting a lot more from there. Hopefully most of our we can just try to tweet off there a lot more. You can follow me at Merge Christian. You can follow Clayton at Lakers 1949. Don't know when Nelson's gonna be back, but you can follow Nelson at
RIP Nelson.
At probably _Nelson. And yeah, I think we're gonna end it off here. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.